Clive Davis has passed away, and only weeks after his funeral, stories that many believe stayed hidden for years are already starting to surface. Jaguar Wright says she has a list of people she claims attended Clive Davis' private industry gatherings while trying to build their careers, and one of those names is now being linked by online speculation to the latest rumors surrounding Diddy and a health-related controversy that has been spreading across social media. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes you'll hear every name Jaguar mentioned, why she believes those names matter, and why so many people online think this story is far from over.
You know,
liars.
Yeah, should they speak up now?
Getting a little too late for those who are complicit. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him off of Justin Bieber alone.
Before we get into those claims, though, it helps to know a little background so everything makes more sense as we move forward. Clive Davis began his career leading Columbia Records in the late 1960s before launching his own label, Arista Records, in the 1970s. During that time, he discovered Whitney Houston early in her career and played a major role in helping her become one of the most recognizable voices of her generation.
A new biopic of Whitney Houston coming out.
Film to celebrate Whitney Houston. This is a film to, pay the pipe. You want to know what Clive Davis did for Whitney Houston? People forget, before she came to the United States, he sent her on an international tour. She had to use auto-tune to sing because her lungs were so jacked up from all the smoking. She smoked 3 packs of Newports a day.
Clive Davis kept his private life almost completely out of the spotlight for many years. Then, at the age of 80, he released a memoir and shared publicly that he was bisexual. He explained that this realization came after his second marriage ended in the mid-1980s.
I've been surprised, honestly, but firstly, from my family, from my children who've known, this wasn't that I was bisexual when I was married. This is something that only occurred after my second marriage failed. So for the first time, having failed in marriage twice, not related at all to sex, I opened myself up to the possibility of having a relationship with a person rather than a gender.
And that he decided to be open about the possibility of having relationships with men after previously being married to women. Clive also said his personal life was deeply private, and that was the main reason he waited so long before speaking about it in public. Now let's get to the first major name Jaguar Wright brings up, and it's one that gets plenty of attention: Diddy.
Davis's name kept coming up because there was rumors and allegations, suggesting that there was a sexual relationship between Clive Davis and Sean Diddy. All rumors, because mind you, in 1993, Puffy was fired from Uptown Records and he started Bad Boy Entertainment, but he needed the money. Clive Davis, head of Arista Records, saw the potential and went 50-50 joint venture, but the rumors are that they had some type of hooking up with each other. I mean, dude, that guy just looks.
Jaguar claims that Clive Davis' early meetings with him involved much more than ordinary music business conversations. These are her claims, and they have not been proven. According to Jaguar, those meetings were really about building connections, influence, and understanding how the entertainment industry operated behind closed doors, far away from cameras and public attention. Online discussions have even suggested that some of those interactions may have been recorded, although those claims remain unverified. The connection between Clive and Diddy was also discussed on the Valuetainment podcast, where Patrick Bet-David and the host examined how closely the two were connected behind their public image.
You want to come up missing and dead, who did it? Tell us.
Can't tell you who done it. I can tell you who wanted it, and it will most definitely be Clive Davis.
So you think Clive is looking for it?
Oh, I know he's looking for it. I know he's worried about it. And he should be.
Why?
He should be very worried about it.
Why?
Because I know things about him. He don't want nobody. I know things he done. And it's hurt people that I love.
Like what?
You know, what I will say is this. When you're the kind of manager that would pay your client to be quiet about a rape to save a tour, and then nuke their career, tell everyone that they're crazy, and ostracize them because they disagreed with being quiet about it.
That connection is important because it shapes everything else discussed in this video. Once you hear why some people believe Clive Davis and Diddy had such a close professional relationship, the rest of the names Jaguar Wright mentions begin to fit into the bigger picture she describes. According to Jaguar, Diddy didn't simply rise through the music business by chance. She claims he learned how to build influence, create strong industry relationships, and understand how the business worked from someone who was already well established. These are her opinions and have not been confirmed. One moment that keeps getting brought up online involved a paparazzi photographer approaching Clive Davis in public and asking about his connection with Diddy.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
Puppy. The status of puppy.
What do you make of that situation?
In the widely shared clip, Clive does not respond to the question and continues walking. Many people have interpreted that moment in different ways, but the clip itself does not explain why he chose not to answer. The next name Jaguar brings up is Whitney Houston, and this part of the story gets a lot of attention.
And still could sing like that. When they did her autopsy, they said there was nothing wrong with her throat. Her lungs were so damaged that she couldn't fuel the notes. And it's Grammy time. And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And then the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the drug dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the drug dealer in that gave her the shot.
Jaguar has claimed for years that Clive had a major influence over Whitney's career, including her music, her public image, and other important professional decisions. Those claims remain disputed. Jaguar describes the situation as a gilded cage, suggesting that everything looked polished and successful from the outside, while in her view, there were unseen pressures behind the scenes. That description has sparked ongoing debate online, and each time it resurfaces, it leads to a fresh wave of discussion. Jaguar claims that Whitney Houston and Clive Davis had a serious disagreement just 2 days before Whitney passed away. That claim has never been verified, but it continues to be discussed whenever people revisit stories about that time. The timing is one reason this claim keeps getting attention online. Supporters of Jaguar's views point to the short gap between the alleged disagreement and Whitney's passing, while others note that there is no public evidence confirming the claim. Even so, it continues to resurface whenever Clive Davis is mentioned in conversations across social media. Whitney was already one of the biggest stars in the world, yet Jaguar argues that she still faced major pressure when it came to important career decisions. That perspective remains disputed, but it is one of the reasons her comments continue to draw so much attention and spark debate online. Now let's turn to Alicia Keys. Jaguar claims Alicia's early success was strongly supported through industry connections involving Clive Davis and Jay-Z, helping her gain opportunities much faster than many new artists.
When you're that kind of person that employs the same group of dealers that you've been working with for the past 25 years, and out of nowhere, people just keep dying of drug overdoses. You know, it kind of pisses me off that all of these artists have died from drug overdoses and nobody really bothered to take the time to look at the toxicology reports. See, all rock stars are drug addicts and alcoholics anyway, so why bother to do an extensive check?
Being that you have had such a traumatic life, and
it would be easy for people to say that I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not bipolar trying to play Kanye.
Whether people agree or disagree, those claims have become part of the larger conversation about how the music business can open doors for some performers more quickly than others. Jaguar's main point is straightforward. She believes many stories that look like overnight success actually involve years of support, guidance, and powerful industry connections working behind the scenes. Alicia Keys is one of the examples Jaguar often points to when explaining her view of how the music business operates. Looking at Whitney, Alicia, and the other artists Jaguar mentions, she argues that a similar pattern appears again and again. In her opinion, talented performers were sometimes matched with influential executives who could open major doors, helping careers move forward at an unusually fast pace. Jaguar believes those relationships deserved more public attention, although her views remain disputed. Jaguar also points back to the 1990s, claiming that some young R&B singers faced intense pressure from powerful people in the entertainment business. According to her, artists sometimes felt they had to meet difficult expectations or follow the direction of industry leaders to gain opportunities such as radio play and wider promotion. One name she frequently mentions is Tevin Campbell, whom she describes as an exceptionally talented singer whose career was heavily influenced by others before it reached its full potential. These claims have not been verified. Then there is Usher. At 13 years old, he spent time in a music industry training environment connected to Diddy that became widely known as Flavor Camp. That period has been discussed publicly for years because it placed a very young artist in close contact with experienced figures in the entertainment business. People continue to debate what that experience meant for his early career, but many details shared online remain unconfirmed. What makes this part of the story stand out is that, at the time, everything appeared ordinary from the outside. Public appearances continued, interviews kept happening, and the careers of these young artists moved forward in full view. Looking back years later, some people have started asking new questions about how the entertainment industry operated behind the scenes, while others caution against drawing conclusions without solid evidence. This is where the discussion shifts to another topic that has gained attention online. In 2017, Usher faced a civil lawsuit involving claims that received widespread media coverage. He has denied wrongdoing, and the legal matters have been reported on extensively over the years. Separately, a TikTok creator named Gina Tu has publicly shared her personal experience of living with HIV. According to Gina, she did not realize she was living with the condition for several years before receiving a diagnosis.
Clive Davis put Sean Combs in position. That's what Clive Davis does. The amount of abuse that Janis Joplin suffered when she wanted to leave Clive Davis management. The amount of abuse Whitney Houston suffered when she was ready to write her book. And then all of the abuses that she suffered. You know, Luther Vandross, it was nasty work, Clive. Swinging it at Jay-Z's knees. I'm swinging it at Clive Davis's knees.
She has spoken about the serious health challenges she experienced and the long road toward recovery. She has also said she believes she contracted it from a celebrity, but she has not publicly identified anyone, explaining that she is not naming a person. Since her story became widely known, some people on social media have tried to connect it to other high-profile headlines. However, there is no verified evidence publicly linking her account to any specific individual, and online speculation should not be treated as fact. Likewise, discussions surrounding Diddy's legal case have generated many claims online, but it is important to distinguish verified court information from rumors and social media commentary. Looking at these different stories together helps explain why so many people online are asking questions right now. At the same time, asking questions is different from proving that separate events are connected. Much of the discussion happening across social media is based on speculation rather than confirmed facts. This also brings the focus back to Clive Davis himself. In his memoir, he wrote about a 14-year relationship with a man he did not identify publicly, describing him only as a doctor. He also shared that he had been with another partner, whose identity he also chose not to reveal, since 2004. Those details show just how carefully he kept parts of his personal life out of the public spotlight for many years. For many people, that privacy has become part of the larger conversation surrounding his legacy. Some believe it demonstrates how public figures can successfully separate their personal lives from their public image, while others continue to debate what, if anything, it means beyond that. Before Clive Davis passed away, Jaguar Wright had already spoken publicly about it. She said she was afraid of possible reactions to her speaking out and expressed concern about what she believed could happen after making her claims. Those statements reflected her personal perspective, and the allegations she has made remain disputed and have not been proven. Jaguar has said she believes there is much more to these stories than what the public has heard so far, and that belief has kept people talking. Of course, believing a claim is very different from proving it, and many of the allegations she has made remain disputed. Another reason this topic continues to trend is that several of the public figures Jaguar has mentioned, including Diddy, Alicia Keys, and others, have not publicly responded to these specific claims. However, people may choose to respond or not respond to public allegations for many different reasons, and silence alone should not be treated as proof of anything. With Clive Davis now gone, the conversation online has only grown louder, and many people are wondering whether Jaguar Wright will continue sharing more of her perspective or whether this is the end of the story. What do you think? Has she already revealed everything she plans to say, or do you think more claims are still coming? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to stay up to date on the biggest entertainment stories. And be sure to leave a comment below with your thoughts. I really want to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.